Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 90th minute. Inter Miami lose 3-1 to Monterrey in what is another bad performance for Tata and ex Barcelona. This was, again, a really bad. It wasn't a tough watch, to be honest, because let's face the facts. First half wasn't too bad for Inter Miami. Calendar makes a horrid mistake trying to play out from the back, which we'll get into. But in the grand scheme of things, 1-0 didn't really change the game. Inter Miami still had to score 2 goals, but just this time descended into extra time rather than outright win the game. So the game plan shouldn't have changed too much from halftime going into the second half. They still had to score the 2 goals. So, anyways, besides the point though, Inter Miami did get manhandled in the second half. Honestly, you kind of could. It was sad to watch, and you could kind of see the aging of some of these players. Jordi Alba, a lot of misplaced passes. I didn't think Busquets was terrible, but again, I think Busquets is at that age where it's hard to notice him unless he does something extraordinary, which he also didn't really do. He was more of just a protector of the ball, take the ball off the back line and advance to the forwards. So his role hasn't really changed too much since his whole career really. Quiet game for Messi, and I guess my disappointment of the night was Suarez. He's who I'm referring to, where you could kind of see a lot of the age kind of hit him. We know the pace isn't there. We've heard the rumors, the knees are gone, and some days they do look on, and some days they don't look on. They look really gone today. I mean, they looked non-existent, and it's sad seeing someone who might be one of the greatest or the greatest striker of our generation kind of just fall off a cliff in form, or not form, but he's old now, so in ability. At the end of the game, you see him in a foot race to win the ball and just gets, shoulder to shoulder, bodied. And yeah, I mean, it was a little bit humiliating. As someone who kind of enjoys watching Suarez play, I thought he's a fantastic striker. And like I said, he's one of the best strikers of our generation. But seeing him kind of just hit the ground like that, you're like, oof, man. Is it time yet to hang up the boots? Yeah. Tough game. Good game for Monterrey. I had a feeling they were going to win this game. I was surprised to see that Messi was going to start the game, and he actually played 90 minutes, which I thought was a mistake from Tata anyways. Luckily, he didn't get hurt, but there's no reason Messi had to play 90 minutes today, especially after 80 minutes. You're not winning this game. I mean, after 50, I kind of figured they weren't going to win. But definitely after the second goal Monterrey scored, you got to score 3 goals just to put it into extra time. It was never going to happen. So, yeah. Standout performers for me, no one. To be honest, I thought, minus the mistake, I thought Drake Callender played decent. He had some saves, and it's so weird saying that because he led in 3. One of them was completely avoidable. So I guess he wasn't a standout player, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is some of the saves he made, I would have expected him to let in. So I thought he did okay at shot stopping. Yeah, we need to really get into this playing out of the back thing, modern football. This is how Tata plays. We know this is how Barcelona play. We know how Messi, Busquets, Suarez, Alba are all capable of playing out of the back. But it's also why has Tata not adapted his squad to their abilities, right? Not every player can play out from the back. Goalkeepers especially, they're not used to playing with their feet, and they're certainly not comfortable playing with their feet like that as a true 11th man on the field. So, it was interesting. 2 goals from playing at the back. The first one was completely avoidable by Drake Callender. I don't even know what he's trying to do here. He's playing the ball. It looks like he's playing the ball to Busquets, who's he's got a man on his back anyways. So that ball should never be played. It's got to go long, or out of bounds or long and out of bounds, you know. So I don't know what's going on with that. Just a total brain dead move, but it happens, I guess. I mean, we've seen it in the top 5 leagues of the world where things like that happen. So it's just a matter of adjusting to the style of play, or just recognizing danger, right? It's got to be one of them. So there's that. I do want to pull up some of the player ratings from SofaScore so we can kind of talk about, just kind of talk about who was good and who wasn't good. So this should be up now. All right, so like I said, we'll start from the back. Drake Callender for basically, but I mean, granted, I'm calling that an own goal. For basically having an own goal with a 6.6, it's not terrible, right? That's not terrible. I mean, he certainly at points kept his team in the game, but Inter Miami just didn't create. In the first half, they had 0 shots on target. I mean, and that's on target. I don't even know how many shots they had. They might have had 1 or none. I mean, I really don't know. I have no idea, but I know for a fact they had no shots on target. So, inexcusable. The back line, I didn't pay too much attention to the back line. So, but I mean, they let in 3. And you can see Jordi Alba with the 6. I guess a 6 is a bad score, and the 6 usually for me is average, but we'll consider 6 as the danger zone. Red card, 2 quick yellows. So, and you know what? I thought it was gonna be Suarez that got it today. After he got bodied and got knocked down, I really thought he's gonna retaliate, and this is gonna be a bad look for him. He did retaliate, got a yellow from the ref, but you move on. Frustration fouls happen, and that's what happened to Jordi Alba, right? First foul was totally frustration, booking no problem, lose his head at the end of the game, just because they got played off the park, right? It happens, but it shouldn't. I guess it does. It shouldn't happen, right? These guys are professionals, and Jordi Alba of all people, as a senior fullback, most experienced fullback in that team and in the league. It's not a good look against Monterrey. So, regardless, Gomez, I didn't think he was that great today. I hardly noticed him, to be honest. But you did score. Meaningless goal to me. I wouldn't even count the goal into his player rating, which I know SofaScore did, just because there's no way he got a 6.8 rating without that. Sergio Busquets as a 7.1. I don't know what's going on with this. I really don't. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. He's one of those guys you just don't notice, right? He's calm on the ball no matter what. So, these things are expected, and I'm sure his pass completion was really good. Let me take a look at his pass completion. He had pass completion, 76 of 82 passes, 93%. Was pretty much living on that halfway line. So, yeah. That was with Busquets. I don't see 7.1. Look, if we're going off my system, 6 is being average, where Jordi Alba definitely wouldn't have gotten a 6. He probably would have gotten 4.5 or something from me. I'd give Busquets a 6, not a 7. I think 7's generous, but I don't know what's average for these guys. The other midfielders, Gressel, I don't know. Kind of speech with Gressel. There's a lot of hype with him in the offseason that he was gonna be a big impact for the team, and I'm just not seeing it. I think there's brain dead plays from him. I know there's he took a shot from outside the box when he could have played his fullback who made a nice overlapping run. This is it's, what do you call it, hero ball? It's just, some of these plays don't need to be happening. Messi 7.5, ridiculous. That is the worst score or most misleading score they could have given him. He was not a 7.5. He was a very generous 6 for his standards. Very generous. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'll leave these scores up there for you guys to look at. But no subs from Tata. I mean, what's the point of having a bench? I mean, you have Messi who's coming back from injury, right? He's coming back from injury. Suarez is knackered. You could see someone was going to get a red card, and it wasn't going to be, or it was going to be an ex-Barcelona player, and it wasn't going to be Messi. So you either knew it was going to be Suarez or Jordi Alba. So, I mean, what's going on? Like, you're down, you need 3 goals, 10, 15 minutes to go. Make a sub. Get these guys out. Messi need, if they want a chance in the league, I mean, it's probably an exaggeration to say that they'll be fine in the league, I think, to get a playoff spot. But if they want to keep Messi healthy, why are we running him into the ground in this game? You know, he's coming back from injury. Unless they're already planning on not playing him on the weekend, which would be silly. But regardless, Suarez needs a break, right? This is your striker who's going to probably play 90% of the games when excluding Copa America. So these guys need breaks. They're not getting breaks. They get frustrated because they're getting their butts kicked. And then they get bookings and red cards and all this nonsense. So it's a bad look for Tata too. I thought the tactics sucked. I thought the first half it was stagnant. It was side to side football. No real urgency to get back in the game. You guys had just brought Messi back into this team, right? He's finally starting again, and we're playing pragmatic. We're playing like there's nothing on the line. I mean, that's not anything to do with the players. That's Tata, because surely he's got to be he has to motivate this team too, right? I mean, captain can do it, but as the manager, you got to set the tone in the dressing room of how desperate you need to be to win this game, and your tactics reflect that. Your tactics reflect the urgency and how you're going to play, right? And it didn't look like Inter Miami was really out there trying to get 2 goals in the first half. I mean, you could argue that they weren't trying to get a goal in the first half. They had no shots on target. So there's that. Is Liga MX better than the MLS? Probably. Maybe not league wise from top to bottom, but I think from top to mid table, or top to top 6 or 8, yeah, probably. I'm not a big I don't follow Liga MX, but we saw Club America destroy my New England Revs. I mean, humiliating both games. The aggregates unspeakable. I'm not even going to talk about that game. The Crew did take down Tigres last night. That was a fun watch. Penalties was good. But it's not like they went out there and owned them like Club America did with the Revs or Monterrey did with Miami tonight. So I think there's a gap between the leagues. But the MLS did just allow a 4th DP spot for next season. So hopefully new talent come in. Big name players can come in, help elevate the league even more, which is exciting. And helps the league grow, right? I mean, that's all any of us are asking for. We want the league to grow. I pay attention to the numbers every now and then about where we rank in top leagues in the world. I want to see us keep going up. I mean, I go to the Gillette Stadium every now and then. It's sad. I mean, granted, it's not a soccer stadium, but watching those games on TV kind of hurts, because you're like, nobody goes to these, or at least it appears that nobody goes. But if we need to expand soccer in the U.S. and I think it's happening, right? I mean, Messi, Suarez, Busquets, Alba, and I mean, there's plenty of other players. Forsberg on the Red Bulls. I mean, I could keep going, but it's in an upward trend. I just think I think the DP spot is a big help to continue that trend. What else do I have written down? We talked a little bit about playing out of the back. No subs. Suarez and his money sign gesture. I thought this was funny. After he gets, I think it was right after he gets hit, or not hit, shoulder to shoulder, and then falls inside the box. He kind of goes like this to the ref, and I'm like, come on, man! Like, this is CONCACAF Champions Cup. This isn't the Premier League or El Clasico. These Mexican teams aren't known for spending money. I don't know I don't know the corruption cases with referees, but if anyone is saying that this referee was, what's the word? If this referee was rigging the game, or had money on one side of the game and was influenced by that for making calls, come on, think a little bit harder about what you're saying, because I mean, could anyone really go out and say Monterrey didn't deserve to win this game? No, of course they did. Of course they did, and their tactics were spot on. I want to say Messi. Inter Miami is they strive when they're playing through the midfield, right? Quick passes into the midfield, not out wide, in the middle of the park, and Monterrey didn't let them do that at all. So that's Messi couldn't really get on the ball that much. I didn't really notice him, to be honest. I thought Suarez looked hungry, but if he's not getting service, well, what else are you gonna do? He's not gonna press. So yeah, I thought that was a bad showing for Inter Miami, as clearly stated. Just a quick video for you guys. It's late right now. It's 1 a.m. East Coast, and yeah, I just wanted to get a video out, talk about the Inter Miami game, and see what you guys have to say. Drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and then we'll be back again for this weekend, and we'll figure out what game we'll pay attention to a lot, or which games we will. Hopefully I can get a video out again before that, just to kind of navigate where I want to go, but we'll see about that. If not, we're just gonna go with it, and then eventually we'll kind of get some organization going right now. So yeah, thanks you guys for listening. Drop a like, subscribe, and comment what you thought of the game. Take care, guys.